You walk into a hospital for a checkup. Something hurts, you want it looked at. You have good insurance, you show your card at the front desk, they nod, hand you a tablet or a stack of forms, you sign on autopilot, you move on like everyone else, and in your head it feels like a standard routine where the numbers are already figured out. Then, a couple weeks later, a bill shows up. The kind where your first thought is, extra zero. Then you open it again. Then you sit down. And the weirdest feeling isn't this is expensive, it's my insurance didn't even touch this, like you went through the whole day with the right card in your wallet and still somehow ended up alone in the system. I've watched people replay the whole thing in their head. I went where people go, I showed my insurance, I asked if everything was okay, and everyone sounded confident. And only later does it click that inside the same building, different parts of the care can live separate lives on paper, some covered, some half covered, and some suddenly out of network, and you don't find out in the hallway or before anything happens. You find out at home, when the number is already sitting there like a fact and you're at your kitchen table staring at it, thinking, I did everything right, so why am I being handed a choice I never got to make? And then the part that makes it worse kicks in, panic speed, pay fast, just to avoid calls, letters, the word collections, the fear of your credit taking a hit, the chain reaction everyone's heard about but nobody wants to meet personally. At first you try to explain it with logic, okay, maybe insurance just calculated something wrong. Then you call the number on the bill, and you hear the first weird thing, this isn't even the hospital's bill. It's a separate company, a separate contractor, a separate name that was in your day for 5 minutes, and now it wants money like you signed a contract with them, and that's where the exhausting part starts, not the amount, the maze. You get bounced between your insurer and billing. You hear confident words that don't solve anything, processing, pending, out of network, we only bill, call your insurer. Insurance has its own reality, EOBs, codes, line items that look like explanations until you read them and realize one thing, your normal visit just split into multiple bills, and each one plays by different rules. The stickiest part is the feeling that you couldn't have prevented it. You didn't pick the anesthesiologist. You didn't pick the lab. You didn't pick who typed the code or what box got checked. You were just a person who came in for help, and now you're stuck trying to prove you never agreed to a price nobody told you, and the more nervous you get, the faster you move, more calls, more messages, more trying to just close it. And that's exactly when the system feels colder. Not because someone's evil, but because it's built like a market. It's easier to negotiate with a calm person, and it's easier to park a confused person in a queue. And somewhere in the background is the real fear, if you step wrong, this bill stops being a bill and turns into a problem that crawls into your credit, your savings, your home, everything. It happened in the most ordinary way. I was standing in line and next to me was a guy who looked like he'd been sleeping 2 hours a night for a week straight, eyes fixed on nothing, phone in his hand, thumb checking notifications like it was a reflex. At one point he let out this short breath, glanced at the screen, and quietly said something like, "They sent another one." We exchanged a few words, the kind you trade when you recognize that look in someone, and he told me how it started for him. He went to the hospital because the pain got to that point where you stop negotiating with yourself. He showed his insurance card, got registered, got the tests. After that everything moved fast, quick explanations, signatures on a screen, bright lights, cold air, being wheeled down a hallway, then home. Recovery, that feeling that the worst part was over, and then, a couple weeks later, the first bill arrived. He thought, okay, I'll sort it out, insurance is there, then a second bill, then a third. Like one single visit cracked into pieces, and every piece got its own life. One bill looked like insurance touched it. Another looked like insurance didn't exist at all. One office said, "We sent it." Another said, "Not us." And every conversation ended the same way, a new number, a new hold line. He said one sentence that stuck with me: "I don't understand when I agreed to a price." Because he didn't choose names. He didn't choose the lab. He didn't choose the separate company that now owned his mailbox. He chose help. And now it felt like he was being asked to pay for rules nobody explained before everything was already done. And this is where people usually break, not because they're weak, but because they're tired, human tired. Too many numbers, too much waiting, too many official sounding words that don't change anything. And right there, a lot of people make the move that feels safest in the moment. They pay just to make it quiet, not realizing that quiet in these stories can be insanely expensive. Here's the moment you can pull yourself out of the hole, not with hero energy, just with sequence. When a bill like that shows up, the first impulse is to pay it just to make it quiet. Don't start with money. Start with control. You look at the bill and ask one simple thing: what is this for, line by line? Not a vague explanation, line by line. You request an itemized bill ***. Make them list every charge, every code, every small thing they bundled into one big number. A lot of the time, the picture changes right there: duplicates, weird add-ons, things that can be corrected. Because this isn't just medicine. It's billing. At the same time, you pull up what your insurance sent, the ***EOB****. Not to decode every number, but to compare realities: what insurance says is covered, what they say is your responsibility, and where this separate bill even came from. If the EOB and the bill look like two different worlds, that's your signal that you don't pay first, you verify first. And there's one move almost nobody makes early enough: you ask for the bill to be put on ***hold *** while you're reviewing it and waiting for the itemization. Calmly. No speeches. I requested an itemized bill and I'm matching it to my EOB, please place the account on hold. You don't need to win with your voice. You just need the system to record that you're disputing and reviewing. There are two questions that change the whole conversation. The first is, send me the itemized bill. The second one comes next, because it's the one hospitals almost never offer unless you ask. The first move is the one that looks small, but it often changes the number without a fight. You request an *** itemized bill ***, and you say you're doing an *** error review ***. Not this is too expensive, not what are you doing, just, please send the itemized bill. I'm matching each line item to my EOB. The second that bill becomes a list instead of one scary total, you get leverage in the simplest way, by asking specific questions. Why is this charge listed twice? Why is there a service I don't recognize? Why does the code say one thing but the description says another? You're not negotiating feelings. You're talking in their language. Remove duplicates, explain this line, reprocess this under coverage. A lot of big balances survive on one thing: people get scared of the total and pay without unpacking it. The second move is the one hospitals almost never volunteer. You ask about their *** financial assistance policy *** and whether there's a way to *** reduce the bill *** through their assistance or discount program. Calmly. No shame. Like it's just a normal process: do you have financial assistance or a discount policy? How do I apply? What documents do you need? And here's the important part: this isn't only for people with no money. In a lot of places, it's about whether the bill is disproportionate to your income, whether the expense was unexpected, whether the situation knocked you out of your normal month. Many hospitals have thresholds, discounts, write-offs, and zero-interest payment plans, but you usually only hear about them after you ask the right question. And when you do it in the right order, first unpack the bill, then ask about assistance, you get something back that matters. You're not just a person staring at a number. You're a person inside a process, with moves. You don't have to solve it in one night or pay out of panic. You just need to buy time and speak at the points where the system can actually shift. Here's how I do it. Once I have the itemized bill and I can see it's real, not just a mess of errors, I stop talking to the number and I start talking to the rules. I call and calmly ask for the department that handles bill reductions and assistance programs. Not a manager, but whatever they call it: financial assistance, charity care, hardship, different labels, same door. And I don't open with, can I get a discount? That's too easy to shut down. I ask, what is your financial assistance policy and where is the application? What are the criteria? What documents do you need? How long can you place the account on hold while I apply? Then the important part: don't turn it into a confession. You don't owe your life story. You're running a process: income, household size, basic expenses, insurance status, sometimes a short explanation letter. The calmer and cleaner you keep it, the less likely you get bounced around. Most of the time there are two more levers sitting right next to that process that people never even try: a reduced payoff amount if the balance is adjusted and you can pay quickly, and a zero-interest payment plan if they won't write it off completely. It's not a victory speech. It's pressure relief. It's buying yourself air on paper so this doesn't turn into chaos with deadlines and letters. And one more thing: document everything. The name you spoke to, the reference number, the date, what they said they'd send, and when. Not for war, for clarity. This system loves we don't have a record, and your calm record keeps you in a position where it's harder to push you around. The worst part about these bills is that people often lose on details, not dollars. You can do a lot right: request the itemized bill, ask about assistance, gather documents, and then the hospital emails back application incomplete. Time keeps moving, and it feels like you're getting pulled right back into the hole. The first common question I hear is, if I have insurance, can I even ask for help? Yes. These programs often aren't about pride, they're about the bill compared to your income and what your month actually looks like. Second, what if I make decent money? Still ask. A lot of systems have tiers, not only full write-offs, but discounts, adjustments, and zero-interest plans. Third, what if I'm already getting scary letters and I'm worried about my credit? Then it matters even more that the account shows you're actively disputing and applying, instead of going silent. Now the mistakes I see most. People send documents kind of complete, missing pages, no signature, no proof it was received. Or they write a 3-screen emotional letter trying to prove the world is unfair. It's human, but it's easy for them to stamp it not in the required format. Better is short and clean: what happened, what your income is right now, what your essential expenses are, and what you're requesting: review, assistance, or a plan. Another mistake is not logging names, dates, and reference numbers, and not asking to extend the hold while they review. And the last one is paying a small amount out of panic so they stop, without realizing what that payment might confirm inside their system. The goal is not to be aggressive. The goal is to stay precise. If you pull everything into one frame, it's simple. In the US, a medical bill is not a sentence and it's not always a final price. It's the opening number. Most people just learn that too late, after fear kicks in and all they want is to make it go away. So my order is this. First, control itemized bill, match it to your EOB, get the account placed on hold so you're not moving with your head on fire. Second, process financial assistance, discounts, payment plans, all the official options that exist but aren't sitting on the surface. And only after that, money, if money is even needed in full. And there's one thought that gives a lot of people their calm back: you don't have to be the perfect patient who silently accepts a number. You have the right to ask questions, request a review, request the assistance application, request a hold, ask for code explanations. That isn't causing a scene. It's a normal part of the system. The system just benefits from silence and urgency, because silence and urgency make people easier to push through. If you're in something like this right now, don't do it one-on-one with your anxiety. Walk the steps, stay with the facts, document everything, and don't pay out of panic just to buy quiet, at least not before you understand what you're confirming inside their system. If you want these breakdowns to show up when you actually need them, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, have you ever gotten a surprise medical bill, and what triggered it? E-tests, an ambulance, a procedure, something else?